Well, hello, thank you for joining me today again on the Church History Trail. We're continuing here in the city of Armagh. And where we are now is we're at Armagh Planetarium and Observatory. And I've been in the planetarium a number of times. In fact, I was in it today seeing a show on the planets. But didn't know about this place here until very recently. In fact, the last few days. So great to be able to see this. And of course, this was the brainchild of Archbishop Richard Robinson. So fantastic. And of course, Richard Robinson was first Baron Rokeby, and he was also Lord Archbishop of Armagh and the Lord Primate of all Ireland. He was born in 1708 and he died on the 10th of October 1794 at the age of 86. So fantastic to still have this building as well, which is sort of a head out of the road. You wouldn't know it's here, really. Now, Richard was an Anglican and he was also an Englishman. And Richard came to Ireland as chaplain to Lionel Sackville, 1st Duke of Dorset, in 1751. And he held various posts before he was relocated to the Archbishopric of Armagh in 1765. In 1774, he founded the county infirmary, or in other words, what we would call a hospital today. You can see a wee date on that, 1827. Can't make the rest out. Maybe you can on the video. There you go. Fantastic, isn't it? So as I say, in 1774 he founded the county infirmary, and then in 1780 he donated land for the erection of a new prison, and he also founded the Armagh Public Library in 1771, and of course the library has Jonathan Swift's own copy of Gulliver's Travels with his edits actually written into it. And in 1790, he founded the Armagh Observatory, which is this here. So fantastic. And of course, this was part of his plan as a university for Armagh. And then in 1795 through 1797, solar observations were made at Armagh, including measurements of sunspots. And in 2018, the observatory was recognised for having 224 years of unbroken weather records. Armagh Observatory is an astronomical research institute, of course, here in the city of Armagh. They have around 25 astronomers, I was going to say astronauts, astronomers, and they are actually based at the observatory here, studying stellar astrophysics, the sun, solar system astronomy, and the Earth's climate. Now, in 1949, a plan was announced to establish a planetarium at Armagh, and so that's where we are heading now. And after many years of work, the new planetarium was opened in 1968, and its first director was Sir Patrick Moore. Of course, he's famous for the Sky at Night programme that used to be on BBC. You never know what you find in the hedges here, but I can see an astronaut there. So there you go. He's somewhat lost. He must think he's on the moon. His spacecraft must have crashed and he's got disorientated. But he's not on the moon. He's actually here in Armagh. So as I say, in 1949, there was a plan announced for to establish a new planetarium at Armagh, which is just beside really the observatory here. And as I say, after many years of work then, it was opened in 1968, and Sir Patrick Moore then was the director of it. And not only was Moore into astronomy, but he also served in the Royal Air Force during World War II as a pilot officer. And then the Armagh Observatory and Planetarium, as I say, they're actually located here in the city of Armagh, which is fantastic. I really enjoyed the show earlier. And it's approximately 14 acres of landscaped grounds here, and it's known as the Armagh Astro Park. The gardens, historical telescopes and various astronomically related devices are among some of the exhibits for visitors to see here. And the planetarium has a digital dome theatre, which I am just out of, which accommodates 93 visitors, and it also has an exhibition area. Now, in 1795, a 2.5 inch, I'll try and pronounce this, aperture refracting telescope by J&E Troughton was installed in a dome at the observatory, which we have just been at. The observatory also has an Earthshine regulator, which was an accurate type of clock. It was invented in 1791 by Thomas Earnshaw, the famous watchmaker. And Earnshaw travelled with the regulator to Armagh to set it up in the new observatory. And in the 1830s, the observatory bought a 15-inch reflecting telescope from the Krupp Telescope Company. And then in 1885, a 10-inch aperture, I think that is, refracting telescope was installed also by Krupp in the Robinson Dome. And the Robinson Dome is actually named after Thomas Rumney Robinson, 1792 to 1882. And so he was the observatory's third director, and he was also a minister as well, just like Archbishop Robinson. And in 2005, 2 wide-angle cameras for meteor detection systems were installed. And Archbishop of Armagh, Sir Richard Robinson, he died at Clifton in Bristol on the 10th of October 1794, and he's buried in Armagh Cathedral. And I hope to be able to get in there, not today obviously, but at some stage, to video that. And there's a memorial to Richard Robinson in the south aisle of the cathedral. Now, this is the planetarium here. So it is. That's a coffee shop. So that's it there. Armagh Planetarium, the place for space. So there you are. So there you go. So thanks for watching, and God bless.